Today we are taking a look at all of the Aurebesh I could find in Season 1 of The Bad Batch. The first thing we have is from Episode 1 when the Bad Batch arrives on Camino, and we have this clone pushing this thing, and this is the text that we have on the box, and it says caution. Unfortunately I can't read the lower text. We also see the same box in this shot, but again, I can't read the lower text. Then we have Omega and AC looking through the Bad Batch room, and we have this box, and the text right here says Hunter. And when the procedure is performed on Crosshair, we have some text on the wall. This one right here says Anomaly, and here again we have the same Anomaly text, but then this text here says Status Report, and this text here says Levels, and up here we have Back, and here we have again the big anomaly on the scan, but there's some other text too, but with this one I kind of had to do some stuff to be able to tell what it says. Now you can see the text a lot more clearly, and this is what Aurebesh says. The first one saying Status Report again, in the corner we have Levels, and here we have Object Space. And this is when Nala Se is helping the Bad Batch to escape. This text right here says override, and well, she's overriding the door controls, so makes sense. Then we have episode 2 and this text on the control station, and it translates to Imperial Informational Station. Then we have when Echo breaks into the station, and he grabs this thing, and for some reason this text is completely mirrored, so we have to flip the picture to be able to read it, and it says Call Awaits. And then we have episode 4, which is a gold mine of Aurebesh. The first thing we have is this, and the text here says Pantora, which is the planet that they go to in this episode. First we have this text which says Party Food, and this one says Hot and Spicy Rancor. So if you don't know, Rancor is a creature in Star Wars. It's the one that we see in Return of the Jedi, in Jabba's palace, and we do also have an episode about a Rancor in this season of The Bad Batch. And here we have Aqualicious Seafood, and the text that goes like around it also says Aqualicious Seafood. Aqualish is a Star Wars species, but I assume you're not eating them because they're not like creatures, they're more humanoid. So probably my guess is that in this place they serve seafood that Aqualish often eat. Then we have this sign right here, but we get a better shot at it, and here we can actually read it, and it says Ivan's Wampa House, or Ivan, I don't know. And we also see a bunch of signs like these, the orange ones, and they also say Ivan's Wampa House. And Wampa is the creature that we see on Hoth in the ice cave, but I'm pretty sure that this Ivan's Wampa House is supposed to be also like a restaurant. Then we have this sign which is very out of focus, but I can still read it, and it says Snow Cones. And then here again on the left we have Ivan's Wampa House once again, but this one says Delicious Steaks. The sign to the right is actually upside down, so let's flip it over, and now we can read it, and what it says is Authentic Pantoran Kebabbery. And then the sign on the very right, we can only tell one word, which is Fusion. Then we have these, well, taxis, and yeah, well, it says taxi on it. And now we are in episode 5 on Ord Mantell, which is the planet that Sid is on. We have some text here. First we have this, which says Raindrop. Then there's like letters I can read, but it doesn't really say anything. But this sign here does say On Your Feet. And then we get a better shot at the sign here, which says Sid's, which makes sense. It's Sid's parlor that they're going to. And I couldn't read the graffiti here. It's sort of strange. Then we have from inside Sid's parlor, we have this that says Credit Craze, and here it says Insert Credit, and here on the right it also says Insert Credit. Then we have this machine and it says Credit Pusher, and then we can read some of the text of the bottles in Sid's parlor. This one says Detonator, and then the cone up there says Wicked Womp Rat. And a Womp Rat, if you don't know, is also another creature in Star Wars, and this is what they look like. And then this thing says Polish, which makes sense because, well, it's Polish. Then again, back to Sid's parlor, we have this text and it says Lucky Shot. And then this is text, like visor or whatever you would call it, and there is a lot of Aurebesh letters here, but they don't actually spell anything coherent. Then we have the control panel, and the text here says system overview, and here it says no abnormalities running, and then here it says power. Then we have another shot of Sid's parlor. If you highlight it, we can see it better, and it says meat packing. And now we have a better shot at this thing we can see sort of on the counter, and it says video sabak. And if you're not aware, sabak is a game that they play in Star Wars, and I guess it has a video version of it. And then we have this here when they are going to remove the chips, and the lower text says active scan and the upper text says foreign body. And then again this device is showing Aurebesh letters but again doesn't spell anything coherent. And here it says charged and other text says emergency power, and this is when they activate the cannons to be able to escape. And then in episode 9 they are looking up information about Cad Bane. So yeah, the text on the left does say Cad Bane and the text on the right says extremely dangerous. And then we have Omega turning on the satellite, and this text says critical. And then we have another text appearing which says escape pods. This screen shows the text online, and here we have offline and also satellite. And what is weird about this scene is that the screen changes between offline and online all the time, so that's kind of weird. Then we have this screen which says Bora Vio, which is the name of the planet, and this is from the escape pods that Omega uses to escape. And this one says warning, portside fuel manifold damage. Then we are back on Ord Mantell, and we have these signs. This one says east and this one says west. Then we have this shot from the mission they're sent on, and this text here says locked, and then it gets unlocked. And then again back on Ord Mantell we have the west and east signs, but we also see another sign which says droid repair, and this is from episode 11 and it shows Chopper's view sort of. Up here it says wolf, and then it says CBE, which I don't know what that would mean. And then down here it says scanning, and the lower text here also says wolf and CBE. It is the exact same as up in the left. Then we have from episode 11 the view of the probe droid, and this text here says playback, which I guess doesn't exactly make sense when we are now sort of seeing it live from the probe droid's view. But then when this gets shown to Crosshair, it has the same text of playback, and here it makes a bit more sense. And then we have a shot from inside of the ship, and the warning text here says incoming. And then in episode 13, back to Ord Mantell, we see a new sign, this one, and it says Corellian roll. Then there is also some text on this big board, and the text is a bit upside down and mirrored, but the upper one I think says betting, but I don't exactly know what the lower one says. And then again we do see the same sign again with west, east, and we can also see north. And then we have this text here on the wall, but I can't tell what it says. And then this is from episode 14, where we have these screens on the wall. This one right here says floor. Then we have top view and also perspective view, touch for details. And this one we have these things that say floor, and then this one that says base schematic. And then when they are in the elevator, this screen says access denied, and then it says enter access code, and then eventually it says access granted, select floor. Then we have again a shot from the ship, and this text says shields active, and this one we already saw before and it says incoming. But then this one says damage warning, and then in this one we have hunter and device and connected. And I'm pretty sure that there is like a period after device, not really sure why, but it's there. And this was the last thing in episode 15 and 16. There isn't anything that I could find at least. But thanks for watching, and you would probably enjoy watching some of my other videos where I go through different shows and translate all the Aurebesh I can find.